Hello and welcome to Broken Entertainment. So in today's Sunday writing video, I want to talk about my writing process. Now, first disclaimer, uh, just because this is a process that works for me and this is the way I view it in my situation does not mean this is a process that works for everyone. Everybody's different. What works for everybody is different. But this is what I do. I've had some people ask, how do you juggle writing with also having a full time job? So, this is my answer. Okay. I've changed my process a couple years ago to what I have now. And it's really made a big difference. I say a couple years, 4 or so. It's really made a significant difference. In that time, I have begun and very nearly finished a major revision of my sci-fi novel Invasion. I began and completed draft 0 of its sequel, and I have begun draft 0 of Shadow Empire, my first epic fantasy novel, and that's at about 10 to 20% done, depending on how I look at it. Now, the biggest step I took was saying, okay, if I'm going to get published, that's a lot of work, whether it's traditional or self-publishing. And I can't rely on just saying, when I feel in the mood to do it, I will write. That is what made Invasion take for frickin' ever in the first place. And I'm like, I don't want the revision process to take equally long, although it has taken a long time. But again, a lot of that revision process I treated the same way before, and that was, when I have motivation. So now it is a job, and I thoroughly enjoy it, but it's a job. And I sit down and I write every single day except for weekends. And do I always write for hours? No. Do I always get thousands of words in? No. But I always get some amount done. So that has been a big step for me and has helped tremendously. And part of that process is when I'm writing, and I work on 2 projects at the same time for the most part. Right now, that's not true because I'm wrapping major revisions on this book to send out to beta readers, but I do 2 projects at the same time. I write one and I edit another. And what I'll do sometimes, if I have to, is I'll alternate days if I feel like I need to make some major progress in one. But the real thing is I'll work on one at night and one during the day. Now, I have a full-time job, so what do? I do my writing at lunch. So I always do my draft 0, which is the first draft. It is the uncut version of the book. Draft 0 is written by hand in a leather-bound notebook. There's 2 reasons for that. The first reason is portability. I can take a leather-bound notebook anywhere. So I will put it in my truck, go to work, and when I go to lunch, I'll grab it and I'll either sit down in the office while I'm not working and do my, however long I have on my lunch break to do it, and then, or I'll go to Subway or someplace like that, and I'll sit down, I'll get my lunch, I'll sit down in a corner, and I'll write while I work, write while I eat, and then once I'm done, once my lunch break's over, I go back, put the notebook back in the truck, go to work. Now, sometimes I get pages done. Sometimes I get sentences done. It's just kind of how it works out. And it has helped tremendously. It allowed me to complete a manuscript in 1 year, whereas previously it took like 10. And it made a huge difference in getting the sequel to Invasion written. And then I will, at night, after everybody settles in, I go downstairs, I work on editing. And now, will I always edit for hours? Will I always do all of my time editing? No. Sometimes we'll play a video game to chill out, and then I'll edit, or I'll edit and then I'll play a video game, what have you. Point being, both of those projects get worked on every single day. Then when draft 0 is done, I will shift to another draft 0 for something else. And then when what I'm editing is done, I will move that aside, and while it's being reviewed by beta readers, I switch that other draft, first draft 0 I've been working on, now that gets started editing draft 1. So I'm always editing one manuscript and writing another. And the reason for that is that if I want to be self-published, it really, really helps to get your name out there repeatedly, get a bunch of books out. Particularly if you're writing a series. If people see that you already have 3 or 4 books in this series out, they're more likely to buy. And a lot of people will say, I'm not going to buy unless I know the series is going to finish. And I don't blame them. So I will have those books done, and hopefully I'll have, if not 2 books, I'll certainly have, or if not 3 books, I'll certainly have 2 of Invasion Trilogy done and published at the same time, or very nearly the same time. And that will help get my name out there a lot. Now, does this work for everybody? No. Everybody's different. This is how I handle it. If you have your own way of handling it, your own system for writing, please put it in the comment section. I want to hear it, and I think a lot of other people would be interested as well. There's a lot of people, we're all at different stages in our writing. There's a lot of people getting into it who are like, man, how am I going to get this done while also, paying for the house over my head? And there's a lot of people that are, maybe they're already working on something and they've been working on it for a while, but now they're really like, man, how am I going to get, I got to do something different. So please, if you have a system, put it in the comments. There's also a lot of live streams from day to day where people get together and live stream on YouTube, and they'll talk for a little bit, but then they have writing sessions in the middle of that. I make those when I can, and that also helps. And even when I can't, it's a place where I can network. If I can jump in, talk in the chat a little bit, you network with other writers that way, get other ideas. So please, if you have a system, let everybody know in the comments. Now what you see on the screen here, this is part of the Shadow system. So the Shadow system. I have the word shadow in my brain. This is part of the magic system for Shadow Empire, the epic fantasy novel that I'm working on. As with a lot of things that you'll see on here when I do these videos, it's not the whole thing, because I don't want to reveal everything. And I'm not going to do a video today going through this magic system, but I will do that at some point. I just have it up mostly for background. If you want to look over what's on here, feel free. The magic system is very based on the environment and environmental impact. And there's very specific reasons for that. Going back to the Arcanicalism, what that is, where it came from, how it impacted the world. There'll be a video on that as well at some point, I'm sure. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. Hit the bell for notifications, and I will see you next time.